So this is my foster dog, Ace, and we are going to demonstrate for you how to properly condition a dog to enjoy having their nails clipped. I have never trimmed his nails before, so I'm not sure what his response will be. Lots of dogs have negative associations to nail clippings. So I want to make this as calm and enjoyable for him as possible. I'm going to move very slowly and break the procedure into small pieces. So I want to start by getting him into a down. And at first, I simply present the nail clippers. I don't have them make any contact with his nails. And I'm very careful about my order of events here. The nail clippers have to come first before the food. And also, very importantly, before I reach for the food, before I rattle the bag, or do anything that could potentially be perceived as the tip-off that the food is coming next. I want him to make a really clear association that it's the clippers that predict the food, nothing else. So he is doing really well with this step. So I'm getting some nice tail wags and some good responses to the presence of the clippers. So the next step is to just lightly touch the clipper to the outside of his nail. I'm not putting it around his nail or anything like that. I'm just lightly touching it. I don't know his history with nail clipping, so I'm very careful not to move on to the next step until he is completely comfortable with the preceding step. I want him to trust that no harm will come to him when I clip his nails, which is a lot more important to me than, simply speeding through it. So he's doing really well with having the clippers touch his nail, so I'm going to move on to the next step, which is to place the clippers around his nail without cutting, just holding it there for a second and then following with a treat. It's really important to randomize the time between your trials. Dogs are incredible discriminators and they learn really quickly. Okay, so every 10 seconds I get a treat, which of course can overshadow the association that we're trying to build with the clippers. It's also important to have time in between trials when sort of nothing is happening. So it becomes clear to the dog that only when the clippers are present, good stuff happens. Otherwise, it's sort of boring and uneventful, which of course makes them think, okay, where are those clippers? I love those clippers, which is what we're trying to achieve. So now it's time to move on to actually trimming the nails. But you want to make sure that you really have spent enough time on the preceding steps, that you're getting voluntary compliance from the dog before you actually cut the nail. This might mean that you work on this for several days, and that's perfectly normal. Ace is moving actually faster than I thought he would. The most important thing is that you work at your individual dog's pace, not the pace that you see here or where you think he should be. It's a lot harder to sort of backtrack and try to reestablish trust after you've breached it. For dogs who have a negative history with this, they associate it with a scary vet's office or restraint, or maybe you've done this before and you hit the quick. That can be a very traumatic experience for the dog. So you want to show him that this means nothing but good things. And you do that by moving as slowly as the dog needs. Resist the urge to rush this.